Okay. So today we will go to finish up all the chapter 7 and 8. Okay. So after this, you can focus on your projects and test 2. Okay. So this chapter 7 and 8 is not including in the test 2. So this is just for your knowledge. Okay. And if you want to go furthermore, you can go deeply by yourself. Okay. Functions and modular programming. Okay, so modular program. So what is modular programs? So modular programs is breaking a program into smaller manageable functions or modules. And functions is a collection of statements to perform a task. So motivation for modular program is improve maintainability of programs and simplifies the process of writing programs. It's just like how you organize your program. Okay, and you have a method to do it, to make it more organized and break it to smaller programs. Okay, so wait. Okay, so modular program is you have a main module. So you have a main functions here, like main module, and then you break it to module 1, module 2, module 3. And inside module 1, you can break it to module 1A, 1B, 1C, 2A, and 3A, 3B, like this. Okay, so functional program is a paradigm of writing a computer program using functions, and function is a group statement that execute together to perform a specific task. So every Python's program has at least one function, okay? So which is the main functions? So normally we have the main functions as one function, at least have one function for every program. Okay, so process of how you use the function is first you need to declare the functions, the names of the functions, is list of the arguments and their types, and use the keywords def. Okay, define the function definitions. Okay, def, this is a keywords, and define the function is known as function definitions or functions implementation. So you need to write the block statement of the functions to define the process and should be done by the functions. And call the function is you need to have a call functions to call it out, because you put it like organized into separate functions. Later we'll see the example. Okay, so this is how you write a okay, so functions and call functions. So functions call is statement calls a function to be executed, and functions definition is statement that make up a functions. So for example, so this define, you put the function's name. What is the name you want to put? And here, if you have parameters, okay, so this is the body, the statements, and return value if it is the function to return the values. Okay, they are function return values there, and they are not. Okay, so this is a functions for calculate and rectangular area. So last time we already learned many times about how to make a function, make a program to calculate the areas. But then now, if you want to make it separately, and then you call it out later, you can define, okay, rectangular area. This is the function name, you can name it. Okay, and then formal parameters is the width and the height, okay, for these two items. So width is the float input, the enter width, and then height is enter height, and then area. This body is same, nothing changed. Just you separate this function into sub-function, into modular program. Okay, and then you return the value. When you have finished calculate, you need to return the value to the main functions. So later we see the example. Okay. Wait. Okay, so what is this all for? You can see this is, you have function element, which is a description. Function header is the name, okay, contain the keywords of definition, function name, formal parameter, parenthesis, and double colons. Okay, this is a header, and then the names. Function name is the name that declare using the keyword def. Okay, so you need to name the functions that according to its what it is for. Then formal parameters. This is like a placeholder, and it is optional. Okay, the parameter is optional, not compulsory. When a function is invoked, and then the value of the actual parameter will pass to a formal parameters. And then you have the body. Okay, the compound statement that contains a programming statement that defines what does the function does, and return values. So if you have return values, mean require to returning the result to the main functions. The functions terminates when the return statement is executed. So now you can open your Python and then you type this, you run, it will come out this 12. So once you complete, you can raise up your hand. This one is just for you to practice also. A simple program. Okay, so you can start it out. So once you finish, you raise up your hands, then we'll continue again. Then you can do it now, yeah? So just who just entered the class? Let me take attendance. Hey, not more. Wait, oh. Okay, I'm call again one more time. Abdi Riza, are you here?
Yes, Dr. I'm here.
Yazid, are you here? Sulaiman? Yazid and Sulaiman, are you here? Where is Yazid and Sulaiman? Not here, huh? Okay, so mostly already done this. This is just easy program. So let me continue the explanations. Okay, so this one you can see that first you make the functions as defined, my functions, x and y. X and y is the parameter and this is the function name. And then this is the body. You want to print x and y. Okay, so my function, you can see that here there is no horizontal tab, there is no indentation. No more indentation here. Means this is the another function that call out these functions, these main functions, and then you want to call. Okay, when you put the my function here, means you call out this function. So when you call this my the functions, and then you put in 3 and 4, you put in 3 for the x, 4 for the y, the parameters. So it will execute as 3 times 4 equal to 12. So it will show you 12. You run, you get 12, right? From the codings, right? So this is how you define a function. And then when you type the function name, means you call it out. Okay, and then with the parameter you put in. So this is example when you do the calculation like this for the, and when you do the functions for a calculation like this. Okay, so explanation on the function process. So first you declare the function names, and then this is the body. Okay, you define what you have to do in the body. And then when you want to call the functions, you need to call the function's name. Okay, you call the function names by this format. So this is a file that you can see that this is an example, define the new functions. Okay, here you don't have parameters here because this is just the string. There is no calculations. So print hello from a new functions files. So print single line spacing also. Okay, so new functions. Okay, you call it out, you call a new function. So it will run this program. You will come to this and then you print hello from new function files. Okay. So calling a function is to call a function, use a function name and then followed by this bracket. Okay. And then when call the program, execute the body of the call functions. When you call it out, then you will be execute. So after the function terminates, the execution resume in the calling function at point of call. So when you call, it will go to the functions, and then once finished execute, you will go back to the call point. So main can call any numbers of functions. So inside your main function, you can call any numbers of functions, and function can be called other functions. So if you have a function, you can also call another functions again. Okay, compiler must know the following about a functions before it's called. You need to know the name, the return types, the numbers of parameters, the data type of each parameters. Okay, so this is difference. Okay, with and without return values. Okay, so if you want to try at home, you can type it and run it, you will get the result. Just here, I believe I explained, you already know how to do it lah. Okay, definition, okay, with return, and then you put A and B, the parameter, then Y equal to A times B, and then you want to return the value Y. Okay, so result is with return. So you want to execute this formula equation, this process. So result is equal to with return. You call these functions, and then you put in the 7 and 8 for A and B. Okay, so you call it, and then you put in the value for A is 7, B is 8, 7 times 8 is 56. So 56 is run, and then it will return the result Y. Y is 56 now. So that's why when you print the result, okay, after it's run, and then the result will be 56. Okay, so you define with no return. Okay, this is the function names. Functions name, you see the blue color, this is the function names, and then print function 1, and then return. So this one, you call it out, you call this function no return, you call this function name, and then means that it will print you function 1. So what is the body inside, and then finish. So this is how you call it. Okay. So basically, that function is for you to organize your program, to be more organizing. If your function, if you will repeat to you something quite often, or if your program is too long, it's not compulsory to do that. Okay, so up to you, you want to use it or not. But if you use it and then you're confusing, then it will make you more troublesome. Okay, so it is up to you, but I'm not forcing you to use that. This is just for your knowledge for this chapter. So techniques of subdividing a computer program into a separate programs, and the advantages are easy to debug. Okay, code is reusable, readability and reliability. So example, also, other than you call a function like that, you can also import another file for another Python, from another files. So for example, you type this, okay, hypotenuse, okay. You can save it separately in another files, okay. So you can define the hypotenuse HYP, A and B, okay. Then you put hash equal to the A power of 2 plus B power of 2 over 2 square root, okay, square root, then return hash. So when you put another program, you from triangles, means you call out this file, okay. Import the HYP, means you want to import these functions. So you put in the parameter A is 17, B is 78. So it will execute this and then return the value of hash. So the hypotenuse is, then they will call out the value of hash A and B. Also, you can call the files from another files. Okay, so this is how can you do it, but it's not necessary to do this. Nanti you pening kepala bila you buat project. Project is only up to chapter 6. This one not included. Okay, so keywords from is used to access the library storing the functions. You need to use the from lah. Okay, and then keywords import is to import the specific functions from the main library. So here you have two keywords. One is from, one is import. Okay, so finish for this chapter 7. Then we go to chapter 8. Before this, any question for chapter 7? No questions?
No.
No questions. This is just introduction to you what is functions. We are not going through deeply. Okay. So also for chapter 8 is data processing with third party. Okay. I finishing up. It is supposedly to take 1 week, but I think this is just short, so I combine it so you can have more time for your projects. and other subject. I know tests is coming. You have a lot of tests or projects. So we finished up this subject earlier because this have no final also. Okay. Is it good for you guys, right? You are happy, right? I hope you're happy.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. So data processing with third-party package. Okay, so rich with extensive set of libraries for machine learning, statistics, and visualizations. So the libraries is actually from the third-party Python package, developed by independent and enterprise developer. It is not belongs to like Python, but then it is from the third party. So from each library contains specific modules, functions, and objects which cannot be obtained from the standard Python library. Okay, so it is from third party. So keywords to call the library to main function is import, like how you import the max. Okay, so that is when you call out the library lah. So example syntax to import matplot.plyplot library is like this. So you have to do this when before the program start. You need to put import matplotlib. Okay, pyplot as plt. You import mat as .m, import mat as m. Okay, the format is the same. So there are many libraries. Just now is just one example matplot library. You have a scikit-learn, pandas, this matplot library, numpy, and anything else. So this one you can go through what is the description for this. Each of these they have their specialties. What are their functions? So you can go through this, okay? So for example, this is a set of data sets, car age, mileage, HP, and price. Okay. So independent libraries, and so this is like example. Can you to show you that how can the Python even can plot graph, get the value of mean, mean, and so on. It can use to process the data, okay, to get the statistic result. So independent variable is not affected by change of other variables. So also called as input variables, okay. So for example here, car age, okay, mileage, and HP, all are independent variables, means that it will not affected by the other variables. But then the variables, dependent variable here is price. Price is affected by these three variables. So it is called dependent. Okay, it is output variables and labels. So there is a hands-on example. You can try it. Okay, I will show you here the result. Okay, develop a machine learning model to predict the real estate price based on its size using the simple linear regression algorithms. So dataset file names as real estate price. So this file I already upload in the Google Classroom. Okay, you can get it there, or you can get it from this link. Okay, you can download it. Okay, so this is an example set of data. The data is very long if you have that file. Okay, this is the example. You have price and size. You have two variables. Input variable is the size and output variables is the price. So first step, what you have to do is, I will explain this step by step. Okay, first step is you need to import all this numpy, pandas, matplot library. Okay, and then from this you import all this. From sklearn's linear model, then you import the linear regressions. So you import numpy as MP, pandas as PD, and matplot library as PLT. Okay, so you already import the functions, the third-party functions. Then now you need to step 2, you import the data set. You import the data set. The format is like this data set equal to pd.read CSV. Okay, so you have to import the file in the CSV format. Okay, and then third is you view the first 5. If you want to view your data, you can view, but then it's only view the first 5 rows. It will have a lot, but it will not show you all, but it will show you the first 5 rows. You can see it here. Okay, you can put dataset.head, it will come out this. Okay, and then the step 4. Step 4 is you want to overview the statistical informations. So this one, it will be calculated. Okay, data set describe. So when you put this, it will come out the count, the mean, the STD, the mean, the 25%, 50%, 75%, and the maximum. All this, it will automatically execute when you key in dataset.describe. Okay. So number 5, if you want to assign the input and output variables, so you need to tell, okay. So you need to assign the input and output variable. You need to tell the data, okay, the program, which is the X, which is the Y, for the input and output. Okay, so once after you finish, you can fitting the linear regressions models. Okay, so regression model is linear regressions, and then you put this. Once you key in the things, it will come out this. Then you can visualize it. You want to see it. Okay, you can plot it. You can see that this is the data, and then you can plot a regressions model. So you key in all this, and then it will appear this. So this is what the Python can do. So let me show you what I did for this. I already done this. Okay. Also, who has the modules? This example is in it. So you do exactly the same, you will catch it. Okay. So if you want to go for furthermore, okay, you can try it at home. I already done this. You can see then this is the first step. Okay, you import, then you save the data set. If you want to see the output is here, and then you can get the mean, the max, and this data. Okay, and then you key in all this, you can get, ta-da, this graph is here. Okay, so this is how the example that how you can do it with the third party. So to go deeper for this chapter at this subject, if you in the 4th year, when you have the elective subject, you can choose the Dr. Nicholas and Dr. Elvin elective subject, which is the data processing or something like that. Okay, then you will go further for your Python from this. Okay, so for this subject, the most important is up to chapter 6 for you until the repetition for you to do the basic program. This chapter 7 and 8 is introduced to you what is function and what is the third party program. So any questions for chapter 7 and 8? Any questions? No questions?
No, Doctor.
You guys are happy. We are finishing the syllabus. Let me explain about the project again. So for project, after this, we have only left the project, is it? You want to have one more quiz? Take home quiz? I will think about it. If I will give, then I will announce in the Google Classroom lah. Because I see in the test one, the mark is okay, but not so good. Basically, I can pass, but not really high mark. The question is tough, is it? Wait, let me open the project instructions. So next week for the class, we will have no class, but I would like to have the project submissions. Let me open the project instructions. You guys remember need to submit the project proposal next week?
Yes.
Right, you remember, right? I buka file itu. Let me open these files. Okay, so for our class, I still let you become maximum 5 persons. You can have 3 to 5. Okay, and then project must be related to civil engineering. Okay, if you are not confident with what you want to propose, you can personally check with me in the Telegram, so I can check either your topic is okay or not before the submission, or else you can just submit and then I will still comment during the proposal stage. Okay, so first you need to make a proposal, which is including the all elements throughout the courses. Okay, and then this courses me up to chapter 6. Each group requires to represent their proposal at weeks 11, 6 to 10 June. So by next week, video presentation here later, I will go to here. I think this one last week I just give it in the Telegram about this info, right? When to submit, right? Because last week you have holiday, no class on Wednesday. Okay, so next week, by the way, next week our class, And the discussion for the group project will start from 3:30 because I have another meeting, important meeting at 2 o'clock. Okay, after the submission of proposal, get back the feedback from the lecturer, and the group requires to conduct programming project and submit all necessary files on week 14. Okay, so you have week 12, week 13, and week 14 for you to do all the report and everything. And then you need to compile together in one folder, and these files are including the project report in PDF file, compile the code in the .py extension. I think it's .py or .ipny. .py extension, and then the video presentation in MP4 format. You need to have the videos also. Okay, so this one I will create a file for you to submit on week 14, but you also need to have the presentations group by group, not like everyone will join. Okay, when the presentation is only me with the group lah. You want whole classes to listen listen to your presentation or group by group? Google Meet.
Group by group.
Group by group. Group by group, okay. So I will not call the group according to the list, like group 1 to group 7 or group 6 lah. We can make appointments and then arrange the time accordingly. Okay, but I will let you know. Of course, it's not during our class time lah. Okay, so we can arrange first which group want to come first. So for the first, you have to settle by next week, submit during the class. Okay, is group of students are required to make a proposal that you are going to do for your projects, and topic must be within civil engineering. I don't want, again, I remind you, I don't want the open channel sections again. No more open channels. The trapezium, the rectangle, the circle, that hydraulic one, I don't want. They want too many times already. Present your proposal through the video presentations and submit on week 11. So during the class hour after next week, remember 3:30. After 3:30, then we will have the group by group checking on the proposal. The content of the proposal should include the following. You need to have your PDLC, okay? You can check this on chapter 1 and 2, what is this? And the description of the project, like if you, for example, you want to have project on the beam and so on. So of course, you need to show me the photos, and then you need to explain what is the problems, and what is the problem statement, the introductions. And if you have formula, you need to show me the formula, the tables, okay? Then you need to have the algorithm, which is including both pseudocode and flowcharts. Then you need to apply the control structure, including sequential, selections, repetition with nested condition. Repetition, of course, you need to have it for the validations, the data is correct or not. And then at the end of it, this program must be able to rerun. You ask the user, do you want to calculate again? Okay, so if okay, then you will rerun. Like you can just ask the user to choose either one to calculate by using the selections. Okay, and then it will be nested condition, and then many level of nested conditions. Remember, this project is 60 marks. So you need to propose something that work to earn your 60 marks. Okay, so these two, 1 and 2, this one you need to make it a proposal. Video presentation, maybe 3 minutes enough, 3 to 5 minutes the most, the videos. Okay, and then next week, group by group, I will check it. And then you need to submit to me the proposal. So for this, during the proposal, I will give you suggestions. I will check, and then I will give you suggestion on how can you improve it. And then you can proceed your coding after the proposal stage. Okay, you can proceed the codings, and then this is the format you need to have. You have to have the cover page, and then I want a page that you have your group member face. You put the group member photos, the names, so I know which one is in this group. By name only, I cannot remember. So I want the page with the page that having the information about the group members. Okay, and then introduction about your program, flowchart, pseudocode, program user manual. Program user manual here is like step by step how your program run. Instructions give the user, like when you buy something, it will give you the instruction. First step is, what is this? Second step, what? Third step. The user manual, step by step. And then the appendix, So for your meetings, you need to have the pictures, minutes of meeting, proof of discussion, raw data, and so on. So if you have a meeting with me, so maybe you can screenshot also the Google Meet, and you have the meeting with your friends, group, your group members. So you need to screenshot the Google Meet as the proof for your discussion. Okay, so that's it. So next week when when 3:30, then I will give the Google Meet link, so can come. I can be ready by turns. Okay, so that time you can decide which group want to have a Google Meet with me first. So I will go through group by groups. Maybe the online session just 10 to 15 minutes for each group. I will check the proposal on that time. So is it okay? Everyone clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. So next week I will see you guys at 3:30. Remember, because I have another meeting at 2 o'clock, so I need to delay a bit the discussions. So we have no more class for the chapter for the syllabus because I have just finished it. And then all of it is in the Google Classroom. Okay, so just let this. And then for your test, I just returned it. Everyone, you got your test mark already?
Yes.
Okay, can you download the marked versions of the PDF? I'm not so sure because last semester cannot. You can get the one that I marked already? The PDF file inside is marked already or not?
Can.
It's with the marking, is it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then let me stop recording. So that one you need to do for those the mark. Wait, stop recording first.